The alley where Labubu walks. They say every city hides a secret, a place where the light never reaches, where footsteps echo louder than they should, and where the shadows don't belong to you. For my city, that place was the alley where Labubu walks. It wasn't just any alley. By day, it looked ordinary. Narrow bricks, cracked walls, and an old lamppost that hadn't worked in years. People hurried past without a glance, as if pretending it wasn't there. But by night, that alley became something else. The locals whispered that if you ever walked through it after midnight, you would hear a sound. Not footsteps, not whispers, but a strange mix of crying and giggling, as though a child was hiding in the dark, waiting. That was the mark of Labubu. The first story I ever heard about him came from my grandmother. She warned me. Never look into the alley after dark. If you hear laughter, cover your ears. If you hear crying, keep walking. And above all, never, ever answer when it calls your name. I thought it was just an old tale to scare children. But everything changed the night I dared to see for myself. It was late October, the air sharp with cold. My friends and I had been telling ghost stories, and someone mentioned the alley. They laughed at the legend, saying it was nothing but an urban myth. I wanted to prove I was brave, so I went. As the clock struck midnight, I stood at the mouth of the alley. The street behind me was alive with the glow of lamps and the hum of distant cars, but the alley itself was silent, suffocating. I stepped inside. The first thing I noticed was how unnaturally still it was. No wind, no rustling trash, no stray cats. Just silence. I walked deeper, my footsteps echoing against the damp walls. And then, I heard it. A giggle. High-pitched, childlike. My heart stopped. "Hello?" I whispered, my voice trembling. The giggle turned into sobbing. Soft at first, then louder, as if someone was weeping right beside me. I felt the air grow colder, the darkness pressing closer. Then came the voice. "Why did you come here?" It was right behind me. I spun around. Nothing, just shadows. I should have run. I should have listened to my grandmother. But I froze, staring deeper into the black end of the alley. And that's when I saw him. A small figure standing in the corner, no taller than a child, with eyes that glowed faintly red. Its head tilted, its mouth stretched into a grin too wide, showing sharp, needle-like teeth. Labubu. He didn't move. He just stood there, watching me. Then, slowly, he whispered my name. "I've been waiting for you." My blood turned to ice. I stumbled back, but every time I blinked, he was closer. One step, then another. The sound of his laughter grew louder, mixed with sobbing that didn't seem to come from him, but from inside my head. "Go away!" I shouted, but my voice cracked. He tilted his head again, smiling wider. No one leaves the alley without crying. I ran. My legs barely worked, but I forced myself toward the exit. The darkness seemed to stretch endlessly, the alley longer than before. His laughter echoed all around me, bouncing from wall to wall. At one point, I swear I felt a small cold hand brush against mine. Finally, I burst out onto the street. Lights, cars, people. It was all there, as if nothing had happened. I gasped for breath, shaking, tears streaming down my face. And that's when I understood. No one escapes Labubu without tears. After that night, I avoided the alley, but sometimes when I walk nearby, I still hear faint crying, drifting out of the darkness. Others have too. Some claim to see a child standing just at the edge of the shadows, smiling. A delivery man once swore he saw glowing eyes watching him from the lamppost. A woman passing by at 3 a.m. heard her daughter's voice calling from inside the alley, though her daughter was asleep at home. None of them dared to go in. Those who did, they were never seen again. People say Labubu was once a forgotten child, left to die in that alley long ago. His spirit, twisted by loneliness and sorrow, became something else. Now he roams the same path every night, searching for new eyes to meet his own, new voices to answer his call, new souls to share his endless grief. The worst part? Once you see him, he never really leaves you. I know this because even now, years later, when I close my eyes, I still hear the crying. I still hear the laughter, and sometimes, I still hear him whispering my name. So if you ever find yourself walking late at night and you pass by a dark alley with a broken lamppost, don't look inside, don't listen, don't stop, because that is the alley where Labubu walks.